Hello and welcome back to the King's Tea Spill. As always, it's me, King RJ, here with the other kings of the panel. How you doing today, King Lois?
I'm doing well. Hope everyone's doing well out there.
King Friday?
Hi everybody, happy Friday.
And King Jagger?
I'm well. How you doing, RJ? How's everybody doing this week?
Alrighty, guys, we're going to go right into the Royal Games. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscription button and click the notification bell for more updates from the King's Tea Spill. So this week's Royal Game is two truths and a lie. So what's going to happen is the Kings are going to give you two truths about themselves and mix in one lie. And it's our job to try to figure out which one is the lie. So to start off, we're going to start with King Lois.
Let's see if y'all can really get in and see if I'm telling the truth. Which one's the truth and which one's the lie? My father built a fence. I've been suspended from high school. But last but not least, I got my license on my first try. Which one's the lie?
Hold on, say the first one again.
I have my father build a fence.
You helped him build the fence?
Yes, help him build a
That's
fence.
a truth.
No,
I,
I believe it.
That sounds real suspect to me.
I think it's true. I think it's true.
Now, help can mean a lot of things because he could
Yeah.
bring
So what I help? So when
he
I
could bring
say
him
help,
water.
no, I'm talking about picking up the boards, hammering, boom, boom, boom,
So
bam,
he did
bam,
that.
bam.
He did
I'm
that.
gonna be mad if this is not true because I'm
He
like, I
Oh,
really want to learn
okay, so
something.
I'm gonna say it's the hammer and the
No.
fence.
Okay.
What is your guess, King Jager?
I think it was the license. I think because he likes to drive fast. Yeah.
And King Friday?
What was the second thing you said?
I never been suspended from high school.
I think that's the lie.
Mm.
Alrighty, King Lois, which one is the lie?
Well, King Jagger was correct.
Yay.
I need receipts.
I'm
We
gonna show you the
want to
picture.
see a picture of the fence.
Okay, I got a drill in my hand, everything. So
I
I'll
need
send
the
you the picture
hammer.
in my inbox. I'll send you the
I
picture.
need the hammer, the nails, all of that.
I actually had a drill. I forgot. I actually had a drill. So I'm gonna send you the picture with me with the drill in my hand and everything.
Oh my God.
Boy.
Alrighty. So I'll go next. Let's see. I have two sisters and one brother. I used to work at a skating rink and I love doing karaoke.
Uh, I think you used to work at a skating rink is the lie. I'm sorry.
King Friday,
I think this. I think the skating rink is a lie too.
King Lois.
I would say okay, just because I never heard you talk about singing, so I don't know. I could be wrong, but we never had a discussion that of you singing.
Well, King Lois is right. I do
Oh,
not like karaoke. I did work at a skating rink. I
okay.
loved it. It was one of the funnest jobs I've ever had.
Did you wear those little shorts?
No, we wore pants.
I love karaoke. How can you not love
We wore
karaoke?
little pants. I mean, let me say, I have done karaoke, but do I like love it or even really like it? I can pass. So
I
that was
really love karaoke. Oh my god. Okay.
alrighty, King Friday. Let's hear yours.
I've been across the country on a train. I'm a dancer,
Hmm.
and I want to be an astronaut someday.
Hmm.
Well, I know you're a dancer. We all have seen the social media, so we
We've
know
been to
that
his show.
um, I want to say you said across the country.
Hmm.
Well, you lived in Baltimore and then you now live in Vegas, so that's across the country. So I'm gonna go with the third one. King
Um,
King Jager.
I want to say the third one, but I know I do like to fly. um, but I think the third one. I don't think he wants to be an astronaut.
King Lois.
I'll be a little different. I would say maybe travel across the country in a train. Maybe you flew versus catching a train, maybe.
Alrighty, King Friday. Which one is it?
Oh yeah, I don't want to be an astronaut.
I
Okay.
knew it. I knew it.
But it's funny because that was the main focus. It was the train part. Like I've only done that once, but every other time was like on a plane.
Mm.
That
Gotcha.
You've
was
taken a train across the country?
yeah,
How was that?
amazing. I
Wow.
wish I would
Where?
have got I wish I would have got like a hotel cart, I guess, because
Mm.
they do have a sleeper cart. That's what it was.
Mm.
I wish I got that because low key sleeping in the chair. I mean, it reclines pretty far back. I'm not gonna lie, the reclines pretty far back. I could get pretty comfortable, but I don't know how much it would have cost. I can't remember, but maybe like an extra $100 more. Probably would have been worth it to have a
Okay.
bed on the train. Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, King Jager, you ready for yours?
Yes. So I've been to Australia. I fell out of a ride when I was a kid. I am allergic to apples.
I have a question. What kind of ride was it?
It was. Wait, then that means it's true. Right? If I tell you.
Or you could be a good liar.
Okay. It was a ride where you put your arms and your legs and they strap you and they spin you.
And you fell out of it. Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, King Lois, which one do you think is the liar?
I don't even know. I can't even read. I can't. I'll say apples.
Apple. King Friday.
I really want the second one to be a lie. I really don't want you to have fallen out of a ride, any ride at all.
I think we're gonna do an even split because I think it's the first one.
Australia.
We got a three-way. Who is gonna win the round?
And the winner is Australia.
Alrighty, guys. We'll be right back with our We the People segment.
All right, welcome back, guys. This is our We the People segment where we do talk about the politics of our nation and what's going on around our neighborhoods and our communities. This week, the coronavirus stimulus package is going out. Everyone's getting their checks. Um, are you guys getting your checks out there? Have you received your money yet?
I got mine. Woo-hoo.
You're not waiting. I'm still waiting. It's Friday and I still haven't got my money. Where is it? Um, Many people are calling Money Bag Joe Biden. That's that was trending on Twitter last week. Money Bag Joe. So what do we think about Republicans who didn't vote for the bill? Um, no Republicans voted for the bill at all. Only Democrats in the House Senate. What are we thinking of our elected officials who don't want to take care of the American people who went through this virus? King RJ.
I mean, is this really something new? Um, the whole last presidency, they were fighting because of this much money and fighting because of that much money. Like, it
Right.
never seemed that the well-being of the American people who elected them mattered to them. So I am not at all shocked and or surprised about it. King Lois, how you feel about it?
I just feel like when it comes to the Republican Party, and excuse me if I'm over speaking, is that if it doesn't affect them personally, they really don't care. They're already are financially stable, so they really don't care because it's not affecting them. And if it's not affecting someone directly, they don't even care. It could be affecting their family member, but that's indirect. It's not affecting them directly. So I really just think they don't care about other people.
So why do they keep getting voted in? Why aren't the people now? We know that many people are on assistance, and it's not only black people who get assistance. It's actually black people were probably third on the list. Um, why do people continue to vote these guys in, knowing that they don't really care?
So I would
Oh,
say the reason behind that is because, people are, and I hate to say, people are society of tradition. Like, my mom's a Baptist, so I have to be a Baptist, and I have to stay a Baptist because my
Mhm.
mom was a Baptist. People don't think for themselves anymore.
That
People
part.
think for tradition, and it's just so sad that people are not their own person. They still live through their parents or their significant other. So that's the main reason. They don't even have to care what they stand for, but their mother voted for, their mother's a Republican, so I have to be a Republican. And people have to get out that mindset and grow.
right. I think we're going to be talking about this for a long time to come.
Yeah.
Uh, the Republican standpoint on it hasn't really changed. They have not voted for the people in a very long time. Speaking of a person who is getting a lot of hit back is Andrew Cuomo. He currently has 6 accusers of rape or inappropriate touching, kissing. He was photographed kissing an aide at a wedding. She didn't want it. He has yet to apologize for doing anything, but he has said he's sorry if he made anyone uncomfortable. Um, what are we doing with these guys now, King Nick?
You know, one thing I can honestly say is that I'm happy that this Me Too movement is spreading so widely. But I don't understand how this isn't any news. Um, the situation with Andrew Cuomo, her friend actually witnessed it, so I'm trying to figure out why was there so much time gone in between before reporting this. I think that this fight for equality, the fight against misogyny in a societal manner is already set up for this stuff to win. This is basically legal. It's let's be honest, the age of consent is 17. It's not even 18. The age of consent for sex is before you're actually old enough to be an adult. So legally, a man can get a woman pregnant before she's even able to take care of herself. How much sense does that make?
Right.
So we need a new government. That's what I think. Because everything's already set up where we're just going to keep talking about this and no one's really saying, well, why are we able to do this? Oh, because he's okay to say, oh, I'm not going to resign. I might have did something by accident. Like,
Right.
what? This is stupidity to me.
Right.
It's clear, I don't know what we're doing. We're appointing them in office, apparently.
I mean, Republicans want him to resign. Democrats want him to resign. King Lois, why won't he leave? Do you think he should leave? If everyone wants him to leave, what do you think is best for New York?
I think he should leave because there's a lot of situations that transpired like this incident. So I just wanted to add something and then I'm gonna go right back to it. So the only thing when he was at the wedding, he did not only try to kiss her, he put his hand on her back first. That was the first thing. He
Mm.
put her hand on her back and she moved back to tell him that was inappropriate. Then he grabs her cheeks and tried to kiss her. That's crazy to me. That I'm just baffled. So he needs to resign just because of that situation. Her friend walked over to her to make sure she was okay because she was in a state of shock. And
Right.
another reason he needs to resign is because one thing you cannot do, we have to trust you. You lied about the deaths in the nursing home. You did not keep track of the deaths of how many people passed away. You lied. You told them not to report it. And that
Right.
said, we cannot trust you, so he needs to resign. He's not trustworthy.
I will say this about King Nick's point, and King Lois touched on it a little bit. I do feel like that this newer generation is trying to break that generational gap
Mm.
of like following in your parents' footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that with the such big presence of social media, they are able to actually start to ask questions and get feedback and start to put pieces together that never quite made sense because they were never quite public.
Right.
So I think that this younger generation, with all their flaws, is definitely taking some steps in the right direction.
Seth Rogen launched a marijuana company that has made a lot of money. Um, there's a lot of black and brown people who are sitting in jail because of marijuana arrest charges or being even a small little gram of marijuana. They're still in custody. What are we thinking about America and allowing people of color to be in the marijuana field?
Because um, I've known people in the marijuana underground industry, and I personally would like to become a part of the legal marijuana industry. And knowing what the stipulations are in getting into said industry are so strenuous because of from info that I've gotten from the sources of those who work in the underground industry trying to get into the legalized part of the industry. The stipulations are very strenuous, but I know that there's a big disconnect to the underground industry and how they can get to the legalized part. And typically they're of color, and typically they have had some kind of charge that gets in the way of that process. And talk about how it doesn't make sense that black and brown people and people in the system right now who have been locked up on these charges don't get first dibs on the industry. You get what I'm saying? Because that it technically should cancel out. Like, oh, we locked you up for this. Oh, my bad. You're out of jail, and here's your. You know what I'm saying? There's no. Once again, no reparations for the injustice, and because we know the war on drugs was set up now. It's not a secret between Mexicans and black people. Literally, the Hispanic culture and both the black culture being the most affected because of something we know is true now. So it's kind of crazy that now we have a booming industry. But yes, there are a lot of black and brown dispensaries, and that's one of my things I want to start looking for. One of the things I advocate for is supporting black-owned dispensaries because they do exist. It is possible, but we do need to start reaching out to those people. Chicago is a place that's deliberately um, is refinancing, recycling the money back to the black community, deliberately recognizing that that community was destroyed. It became Chirac because of the war on drugs that we know was literally unnecessary.
Right.
But I will say this: I think that there's a reason why those two worlds that you speak are separate, and I'm a big advocate for not rewarding bad behavior. Um, so I'm not going to say that I totally disagree with the fact that if you broke the law when it was a law, that it would hold you back from moving forward in certain aspects. The same principle. If you're saying that people who have gone to jail for these um, criminal acts to just get passes to now do this,
I,
at
I
what point
think
do you draw the line?
I want to introduce the term restorative justice and consistently get that working in because levels of criminal activity exist. I got a bag of weed and you arrest me, I did nothing to the community. I got a bag of weed and Percocets, I might have done some damage. I got a bag of weed, Percocets, and a gun, I'm going to do some damage. And then everything after that is when it starts to escalate. But if we are arresting people on something we know is not harming the community, but we absolutely, literally know is helping the community, those people deserve their restorative justice. The people that are child molesters, gun bang. That like if there was a gang of farmers who were selling weed, that's literally all that's happening. We're a gang of farmers who grow plants that make you feel great.
And
That
that
is not
happened.
a crime. Literally not a crime. But the people who are child molesters and shooting people over that crime, over the what's hard to do, that stuff, unfortunately, yes, that's a crime and you have to pay the time.
I mean, but what you have to understand is that, like in Kentucky, marijuana is still illegal, so it's still a crime. Period. So you can't say that one crime is like they're both crimes, and at some point they had to set a standard. So now, to what extreme the standard is, I think that needs to be revised. But there has to be a standard.
I mean, that's fine, but you look at a person who was arrested for a gram or a dime of marijuana, right? And then they don't have bond money, right, to get out of jail. There are people
Right.
who are still in jail for having a gram of marijuana who didn't have bond money that are in jail for 5 and 7 years.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm not speaking about people who have been
But
incarcerated.
but
What I'm
that's what we
speaking
have to
to,
talk about when we're talking about marijuana and the way that people are making billions of dollars around this country
right.
and how people are still sitting in jail. Now, fine, it was a law at one point in time, but we see around the country, what are we going to do? Obviously, in the states that you're talking about, Kentucky, I think that there's still a race thing going on, and that's why they have not moved on marijuana laws and things of that nature. Um, I think that's the main thing. But we know people smoke weed. We
Right.
know.
And
It's not
I
as
wasn't I wasn't I wasn't correlating anything I said with people serving time and all of that. What I was saying was, as far as them setting a standard of getting to the point of being able to do it legally, there has to be a standard. That was
Right.
all. That was my
I'm
point.
not even going off your topic. I'm saying what I'm saying is that there's an issue. There are people in jail for a gram of weed while Colorado's making billions.
Right.
well, just,
And I think that we need to solve that problem.
well,
Standard or not, we know America's making money off of weed. How could at this point, after all this, you have states making billions? Why shouldn't the people who were most affected get a part of that or a piece of that? How dare everyone? How dare people look down on it for so many years and then people make money off of it? When I went to a marijuana dispensary, I was in a marijuana dispensary, the line was filled of white people. There weren't even black people there.
I mean, but what
That's
is
crazy.
actually stopping them from going to the next level?
their
What?
record.
Oh
Their
well,
record.
But but
no.
but it's
No.
their
In,
record, right?
in New Jersey, no. Okay, so in New Jersey, right? They only allow 6 dispensaries. They
Okay.
only allow, so nobody else can touch this.
I see.
Nobody can
Okay.
jump into
But
it.
that's just a first come first serve thing, right?
Reason why, what King of Jager said, it's almost like it's hard for us to get there too, because they set it up like for like it's like the Jim Crow law. Like you have to have a certain amount of land. You
Mhm.
gotta
Speak.
have. So it's just like the Jim Crow law when we were able to get married, when we were able to do stuff. They implement all this stuff so we wouldn't be able to, do these things. They're trying to keep us down and keep us suppressed. We don't have the resources. We don't have the money. We don't have economically. We don't have the money to finance and be able to do it as well.
Those are some great points. But right now, we're going to take a little break and we'll be back with KTS.
Hey, I know you've been enjoying this. You might as well subscribe. It only gets better. Hit that little bell button, hit that subscribe button, and like and comment. We'll be right back.
Alrighty, so we're back with our viral clip of the week. This week, our clip is a clip of three passengers riding in a rideshare, and they get into it with the driver. So we're gonna let you see that right now.
Fucking nigga, and I got corona. Yeah, what's up? Fucking shit.
Hey, hey.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Don't touch my property.
Put your hands on me.
Don't.
You about to get your ass beat up. Shit. Now you about to get beat the fuck up. Yeah, now you about to get beat the fuck up. Now you about to get beat the fuck up. What's up?
You don't touch my property.
I don't give
You
a
don't
fuck,
buy it.
bitch.
You don't buy it.
I don't give a
I
fuck.
bought it.
You
I
not
work hard for it.
out in the middle of nowhere.
So
What the? Hell no.
So
Bitch ass
did
nigga,
it like
you think
this?
you can kick us out in the middle of the fucking thing? Are you stupid? I really have to like do something.
Did I told you to get out in the gas station? You didn't.
Alrighty, so we've seen the video. How are you guys feeling about this? King Friday?
I'm outraged. I'm outraged by the behavior, by the etiquette. They look like children being a nuisance. I'm mad that some of them are colored, messing with this man, trying to do his job, coughing on him during a pandemic. Weird. It's just, to me, these children need some help.
Well,
Like,
in the latest update, the San Francisco PD says that Malaysia King, she's the one in the video in the red hoodie. She has actually been arrested. She was arrested for assault with a caustic chemical, assault and battery, conspiracy, and violating health and safety codes. The young lady who actually grabbed the man's phone and ripped off his mask has told the PD that she plans to turn herself in soon. So, how are you, King Lois? How are you feeling about, you know, people being charged criminally for purposefully spreading COVID?
Have lost their lives due to COVID. It affects everyone differently. This man actually put his own life at risk, giving them a ride to wherever their destination was. This man let them into his car, wanted them to give them a ride to wherever they were going. First of all, they were speaking to him rude and abruptly. That was the first thing. And if you're saying that you have coronavirus and then cough on somebody, you should be charged. And actually, you rip off his mask. So I think they need to be charged because that man could lose his life because if that one of them had coronavirus and he becomes positive, his body might not be able to fight it off like their body.
And King Jagger, what are you thinking about it?
I think they should be arrested because they're putting people at risk. This man is only working. I think that people who do jobs like his and Uber Eats and all that, they should get paid a little bit more because they're being put at risk by people who don't really care about the coronavirus, which the last administration kind of left us in this shambles.
And King Friday?
Yeah, I'm here for them getting arrested. You know, this is not a joke. And whether you believe in it or not, you don't want to put other people at risk. And he's trying to do his job. You know what I'm saying? So that's getting in the way of his job. They could have gotten into an accident. And even if nobody's thinking deeper than Corona, I'm not saying you shouldn't think past Corona, but they could have gotten into an accident just by him grabbing the mask. That's just proper etiquette. They should be arrested for that alone. How about reckless endangerment? Like, y'all know better. This is absurd, ill mental behavior. Hopefully they get some psychological help while they're in jail, because they're gonna need it.
Correct. Well, alrighty, guys. We'll be right back with the lit topics.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Kings are on break, but you and I, we've got work to do. It's time for you to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, the little like button goes like that. Then the little comment section. You can comment, let us know what you want us to talk about. And last but not least, subscribe. That's how we'll come back. If we don't come back, what will we do? What will we do? Do it! Let's go! Woo!
Welcome back. Let's get into the lit topics, where we get lit and talk about topics. So the first topic on the list is the Mr. Potato Head toys. So Hasbro has decided to remove Mr. and Mrs. from the beginning of the Potato Head toy line. They have tried to be more inclusive, releasing a statement saying that they want everybody to feel welcome in the potato head world. King Jagger, how do you feel about this inclusivity movement?
I think it's great. I feel like people need to be included. I think when we leave people out, leave people susceptible to bullying and things of that nature. So it's good that we actually start including everyone, every kind of thing. Clothing doesn't have to really be separated. People are wearing tight clothes, so everyone could wear everything. Everyone should be able to play with everything.
Gotcha. How you feeling about it, King Lois?
I feel like the same with like King Jager. I'm very everybody's being included. I'm glad they're doing away with this because a lot of people were being bullied because they were playing with Miss Potato Head instead of playing with Mr. Potato Head. So I think that would stop a lot of that because it's gender neutral. So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, King Friday?
I think it's beautiful that they're joining a movement for inclusivity and that also acknowledging that your potato head can be whatever it wants to be. It's not just removing the label, it's also including the label at the same time. It's beautiful.
As we all know, very recently, Coming to America 2 was released, bringing back some of those old faces that we love so much from the very first movie. Have you guys got a chance to check it out?
No.
I personally did. It was good. But people need to know it's not a sequel. It's Coming to America Part Two. So it was a great movie. Overall, I enjoyed it. Had some funny moments, and it touched on some key points. And I don't want to say anything, but it was overall it was a great movie. I definitely enjoyed it, and I will recommend it.
Because it's a whole different circumstance. It makes me want to see it too. I'm glad we bringing back familiar faces. I'm glad that black actors and actresses are getting paid through one of the big multi-billion-dollar companies, Amazon. You know, so it's really beautiful. I'm just happy for us. I want to see it. I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but I know I'm gonna watch it and probably over and over again. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, I love them too alone. But I already know the cast is just beautiful black people, an all-star cast. And why do people need to hate on it? For what? There's no reason to hate on this. You can find yourself in this, and if you don't find yourself, pretend you're in there or laugh or something. Like there's no reason to hate on this movie.
King
Period.
Jagger?
Yeah, I think all the hate is kind of ridiculous. We need to start celebrating black movies, black culture, and not be afraid to do so. We will go out and celebrate other people's cultures and things first. This movie was great to me. I really liked it. I didn't go into it watching it like, oh, well, this better happen or it better be authentic. I'm not from Africa, so I can't tell what's authentic or not. And a lot of people, I actually I saw it twice, kind of like the first time I saw it, people were just complaining throughout it. It's not supposed to be a funny movie. It's not supposed to be this. It's not supposed to be that. And it was just like, just watch the movie. So I watched it by myself actually last night. And I thought it was great. I thought at the end they tell you that 6,000 people had jobs from this, and I think that was important that they put at the end of that, because there's so many people without jobs during coronavirus. So they actually honored that, I think, and I thought that was cool.
I did get to see it. I think that is a good movie, a standalone. I am a diehard Coming to America original movie fan. That's one of my top Eddie Murphy like movies, movies. Period. Um, but I think it was a good movie. I really like how he was able to bring in a lot of known yet underknown actors, I guess, and introduce a lot of new faces to a generation who may not be used to some of those faces. Um, and I just absolutely loved Leslie Jones. She just gave me so much life the whole movie. So I think it's definitely a major go see, um, and I definitely would recommend it. Alrighty, so the next thing we're gonna talk about is the Ti and Tiny ongoing legal battle. Um, so lawyer Tyrone Blackburn is now representing, well, he started off initially representing 11 victims. There are now 5 new victims. And his in his latest statement, he says that his newest victim is a survivor who was drugged and trafficked. King Lois, how are you feeling about, the drug world and sex trafficking as far as it relates to celebrity status?
I'm in a state of disbelief because, we look up to these celebrities, and I tell people all the time, we really don't know these celebrities but behind closed doors, and I don't want to be the person to say that this person is lying because I don't know their story, and I never want to disregard someone's story or they're making this up. I'm just, I'm just in a state of disbelief that all these victims are coming forward now and they've been through this and being sex trafficked and being drugged, probably idolizing and looking up to these celebrities and look what happened. It's just crazy to me.
King Jagger, in recent years, this has happened to different celebrities, including Bill Cosby. R. Kelly went through a similar situation. Um, how are you feeling about this? Come forward kind of culture.
Um, I mean, there's a lot to say to that. Some people say, why don't you come forward when it happened? People are being shocked, and sometimes they need forward, and it just happens that way. But I think that people need their time, and a story like this is so crazy. You look at Jeffrey Epstein. That's another huge story where many other celebrities were involved in that. Presidents, princes were involved in that. So to bring it down to Ti and Tiny, not to say it's not shocking, but it's not shocking. Just because of how much wealth they have, how much property they have. Um, in Georgia, there's a lot of land. I live in Georgia now, and I see how easy it is to just someone could be walking, and I found a wallet one time, and I don't even know who, just randomly on the street. So people go missing in Georgia a lot. Um, if you could think back to the 80s, a lot of murders, a lot of people go missing in the state, and I think it's a real issue, especially with trafficking and things of that nature. Um, I think Georgia needs to do something about it.
Yes, King Nick, do you feel like there is a um, celebrity pedestal that we put these people on and take them away from actually being human beings and making mistakes?
I actually think we really do, and I think what makes it worse is I feel that us putting celebrities on pedestals separates the need to address it in humanity as well. So sex trafficking is not just something that happens because rich people have money and drugs. Sex trafficking is literally happening every day to ordinary people. You don't know, there's no, you know what I'm saying? On your everyday news, you find people picking people up in the van and selling them off. You know what I'm saying? It's pimps out here. We don't really realize, but pimping is sex trafficking. Cause I'm a mother pimp. It's in the music now. So it's like, why is anyone shocked that a celebrity that raps about pimping is going to be doing sex trafficking? They're literally the same thing. So the issue is with putting these celebrities on a pedestal is that we are splitting hairs with crimes. Sex trafficking is bad, no matter whether you're a celebrity or not. But a celebrity can buy their way out of so many situations that no one's really going to question anything that's going on. 9 times out of 10, somebody done seen this happen a long time ago and told them to shut up about it. That's why they don't come forward. There's also hush money. Everybody signs non-disclosures to party. When you party, whatever happens within the party, you can't talk about. So if I slap you in the face with a gun and say da 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 da, you sign a non-disclosure. There's so many loopholes that allegedly you can really weave in and out when you have the money. But it's like I said, if we really take away from the celebrity status, we can be able to address it in a whole. So it's I just say it's two parts to that. It's like it makes them get away with stuff, and then it takes away from. It allows other people to get away with it essentially because you've taken the spotlight away from it happening over here because these guys are doing it now. But we're gonna elongate this. We're gonna investigate it, and it's like no, it's obvious.
And of course, all of these accusations are still alleged.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but especially in the music industry, and especially back in the day, there was a direct correlation with artists and drug use, heavy drug use. Artists have done plenty of interviews where they said, they would go to clubs at night after their shows and just do cocaine off of people's bodies and stuff. It wasn't a big secret. So I think that these drugs have been a part of celebrity culture, or even rich people culture, if you want to take it away from celebrity status. It's just been a part of that for so long that I think it's one of those things that, um, looking back, we're now like, oh snap, that was wrong. I mean, not that we didn't know it was wrong in the moment, but when you're in the moment, things are a little different. Alrighty, moving on to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry recently had sat down and had an interview with the one and only Oprah Winfrey, where Meghan, got to discuss the things that she went through, not only throughout her pregnancy, but becoming, a part of the royal family, and life after her child. So not only did she have to go through the regular things that you go through with a pregnancy, she had to deal with conjoining and aligning herself with a family who necessarily didn't see fit for her to be there. So, King Lois, what is your opinion on this situation?
It's just so sad that it's 2020 and, race is a big factor and somebody, can be a part of a family. I love Harry so much because he stood by his woman. He left his post. He left his position. I think they're now living in California. Like he left everything to stand by his woman, and it's just sad that race is a big thing. I hope the baby doesn't come out too dark. Like who said something like that? You know what I'm saying? It's 2020. Like that's just so outrageous to me. I'm very disappointed. Um, I'm disappointed that people are not speaking up and speaking out and saying that the royal family is wrong. They're trying to condone their action or just try to, just sweep it under the rug. And it's sad. And it's sad. People need to be held accountable.
In whilst again the interview, Prince Harry said that, you know, even though all of this was going on, he was happy to have his wife there with him, and that he couldn't even imagine what his mother went through because she went through it alone. Um, so, King Nick, how do you feel about, that whole family dynamic of, this generational curse that has began with Princess Diana and trickled down to Harry?
Um, I feel like now is the time for it to be broken. Everybody, the difference between what happens to Princess Diana and now is that we're in a digital age where if you believe in any type of faith, you can collect together and pray for this family because we are it's already happening. It's already the child has real blood. She is proud of being her black heritage, and that stuff we need to consistently focus on. Harry, it's like you gotta have faith. It's just one of those situations you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith that you've done the right thing, so you're on the right path. So it's hard to be like, dang, I feel like I'm suffering from what my mom had to deal with, and it's like, what I'm saying, but you don't have to. It's like that's how I look at it. Like, no, I look at it as this is great. It's not bad because he's not really losing anything. He's changing. He's already done broken the curse. It's That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to speak that because he already broke the curse by leaving. That's it. There is no curse. Now you just start something new. We don't know what's next, but guess what? it's gonna be nothing but beautiful because you chose not to, you chose to stand up, and that is so beautiful. That's so beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yes, King Jagger. The palace released a very brief statement, summing up to the fact that it was a family matter and it would be handled internally. Do you feel like that was the right standpoint for the palace to take?
Absolutely not. They had her time to stand up and speak out for the people. What people don't realize is that the queen is the queen of many other republics. She's not just the queen of England or the queen of London or wherever you think. She's the queen of many other, including Black republics, right? So you have a leader of a family who leads Black country and has not stepped up. This is a hard topic for me because race is a large issue in this country and abroad and around the world, especially for Black people. But we see it again. Here's another story where we're talking about Black people being held down. That this continues to happen. Sharon Osbourne was another person who spoke out against this. Pierce Morgan was so angry, quit his job because a Black woman said that the royal family was racist. People are focusing on Black people speaking up and not racism. That's the issue. Outrage for it is weird to me because we're mad that Black people are speaking up, but not mad at the actual situation.
So here's my question for the panel as a whole. Do you guys feel like the queen knew about these things?
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
definitely so.
Well, the palace has an HR department, which is funny. Meghan Markle went to the HR department and they told her nothing. They did nothing with it. He said that she had thoughts of suicide. No one did anything. People made fun of her for saying that she wanted to kill herself. There were 30,000 complaints about it. So yeah, the queen knew about it. The whole family knew about it, and they did nothing about it.
All right, so our final topic for lit topics is the new Tina Turner documentary that is coming out. So of course we know that Tina Turner is a musical icon, musical legend, not only spanning across one genre of music but many genres. Um, and she has put together a documentary about her life where she is actually, unlike What's Love Got to Do with It, her biopic, she's actually in it. She's actually talking. It features, some of the cast that was in What's Love Got to Do with It, and
Hmm.
some other people that have been special in her life. So, do you guys feel like this is a necessary step for her?
To be honest, I think she should do whatever she wants. Um, I just think Tina Turner's bored. I would definitely love. I mean, everybody needs to revive their life stories. I see the idea of making it. I mean, go for it. It's Tina Turner. Who's gonna stop her? Who's gonna say no? Like, yes, Tina's everything.
And in the trailer, King Jagger, Tina spoke about how reliving the abuse part of her life is actually quite hard for her. But she felt she needed to tell the story because it's helped so many people in the past. So that's one of the reasons why she did it. Do you feel like that is something that is very influential?
Oh, definitely. I think that even when the movie came out, she definitely had people flock to her in a way where her career spans. She came out what 60s, so we're talking I don't even know 60 years almost, right? Is that I don't know how to do math, but I think that she's been around for so long, and her story, every chapter of her story resonates with a certain amount of people. And looking at this documentary, it's beautiful. If you haven't seen the clip, you should see it. It's a beautiful documentary. They really restored everything from the 70s, the 80s. I don't even know how they store things like that, but it looks like I'm there, and that's why I want to see it because I feel like I'm there with her at that time. Now we saw the abuse stuff. Now we see her as a performer, her what she went through, racial things, all that. Her marriage, dancers leaving, her revival. It's I think it's gonna be beautiful. I
Mm.
hope she wins plenty of awards too. She deserves it. Yeah.
Oh, you
And King
so
Lois, how are you feeling about it?
I think I seen it. I'm definitely ready for it. Like King Jacob said, like Tina's Tina Turner's story. So many people were touched by it. So many people have went through some of the things she went through, and she spoke up and spoke out and it helped other people speak up and speak out and stand up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So many people were able to relate to her story, and she told her story, and it was nothing but the uncanny truth. So I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. I love to know.
Yes. And on that note, right here is the number to the domestic abuse line. If you are in this type of situation or know anybody in this type of situation, please contact somebody, get some help. Nobody deserves to go through that or be a part of that. But we'll be right back with the King's final thoughts. Alrighty, welcome back. You know you can't leave us without our final thoughts. So this week we're gonna start with King Jacob.
I think I want everyone to pay attention to those missing person signs, and when you see like the flash come up on your phone, just watch out for people because, like we were speaking about earlier, people go missing randomly, and I think we could all make a difference. Pay a little more attention to what's going on. Um, yeah.
And King Lois.
I just want everybody to stand up and speak out. If you see anyone getting bullied, if you see anyone being treated differently because of their race, you are part of the problem. If you don't stand up and you don't speak out, you need to say something because you have the power. Use your voice. Use your voice. And that's what I want to tell people to use their voice and speak up and speak out and stand up.
The King Friday.
in honor of Women's International Women's History Month or National Women's History Month. I wanted to recap and just remind all the women out there to be cognizant when you feel like you're being harassed. This is the best time to report it the first time. When you feel like you're being abused, this is the best time to report it the first time. Don't second guess yourself. Don't love this person because enough thinking that your love is going to change the abuse, the harassment, the discrimination. All these things are the reason why these men feel that they are have the right and the power to do so. You can take it back. It is your choice. We are, and everyone, you have so many behind people behind you. It's the fight is now. The time is now. Get these people off this pedestal, and
Mm,
it's time for a new day for
mm.
real.
Reach on.
And I would say my final thought is going to be one word in two different ways. The word is love. First, love yourself. Um, you can't move forward without loving yourself first. Um, the second part of it is send that love to somebody else, because you never know when somebody's going to need that love. But as we always say, keep your head up and your crown on. We'll see y'all later.